Hello, my name is Aaron Moss, and I am briefing you on a leadership strategy that combines two approaches: transformational leadership and servant leadership. I call this approach leading with a purpose. This is about more than motivating people, it's about inspiring them while serving their needs. It's about leading with vision and values while keeping people at the center of every decision you make. Today I'll cover 4 key points: what transformational and servant leadership are, why combining them is so effective, how to apply this approach in real-world leadership, and the long-term impact this model has on organizations and teams. Let's start with the basics. Transformational leadership is based on vision, trust, and personal development. It's often described through 4 core elements. 1, idealized influence means being a role model that others want to follow. 2, inspirational motivation is sharing a clear, compelling vision of the future. Intellectual stimulation. This encourages creativity and new ways of thinking. And finally, individualized consideration. This is recognizing each team member's strengths and needs. The leadership style creates a sense of shared purpose. It moves people past compliance and toward commitment. Now let's contrast this with servant leadership. First introduced by Robert Greenleaf, this model changes the traditional power structure. Instead of focusing on authority or hierarchy, the servant leader asks, "How can I help you succeed?" Servant leaders prioritize empathy, listening, and development. Their success isn't measured by position or power. It's measured by how their team members grow. I've worked under both kinds of leaders in my military career. I can tell you firsthand, the ones who inspired us most were the ones who led with vision and served with humility. That's where these two styles meet. So, why combine transformational and servant leadership? The answer is simple. When you inspire people and support them, you unlock their full potential. Combining these styles builds trust and psychological safety, increases engagement and retention, aligns the team's values with the leader's vision, and fosters a culture where people feel seen, heard, and valued. Leaders who inspire but don't serve may lose touch with their team's real challenges. On the other hand, leaders who serve without vision may fail to move the group forward. But when you do both, when you cast a vision and clear the path, you create transformational servant leadership. In both military and civilian settings, leaders who blend these styles see higher morale, greater loyalty, and more sustainable performance. I've seen this myself during deployments and training missions. Units led by purpose-driven, service-oriented leaders performed better under stress, trusted their chain of command more deeply, and solved problems with greater creativity. Now, how do we apply this model? I want to offer 3 actionable practices for leaders who want to walk this path. 1, know your people. Practice individualized consideration. Spend time learning about your team members, their goals, stressors, and strengths. Ask questions. Listen carefully. Tailor your leadership approach to fit the individual, not just the task. Next is leading with vision. A shared purpose gives meaning to the mission. Whether you're in uniform or working in a civilian organization, clearly communicating the why behind your goals is what motivates people to go the extra mile. It's not enough to say, do this. You need to help people see. Here, this is where we're going, and here's how you matter. And finally, serve by removing barriers. Great leaders enable their teams by clearing the way. That can mean advocating for resources, addressing toxic behaviors, or just being available. Your role isn't to hover over your people. It's to equip and support them and then trust them. Let me give you a personal example from my time as a technical inspector. I was responsible for signing off completed maintenance actions, verifying that the task had been completed within the published standards and that the paperwork was correct. And any follow-on actions had to be properly annotated in the aircraft logbook. It was a job that required precision and accountability, but I saw it as an opportunity to build better maintainers. I spent a lot of time with newer soldiers, walking them through what right looked like. Every time I went out to inspect their work, I asked them what it was that they had completed, how the system functioned on the aircraft, not to quiz them, but to teach them how to think critically, trace their systems, and gain real confidence in their technical ability. My goal was always to give them the tools not to just pass the inspection, but to understand what they were doing, why it mattered, and how it impacted the mission. This is how I served others by helping them grow. And the transformational part, over time, these maintainers didn't just get better. They started owning their work, mentoring others, and taking pride in the standard. That culture of accountability and trust started spreading because they weren't just being told what to do, they were being developed. The last point I want to make is about long-term impact. This leadership model doesn't just create quick wins. It builds resilient, adaptable teams that thrive under pressure and support each other and stay loyal. It also helps fight burnout and disengagement. People are more likely to stay when they feel their leader truly cares, not just about output, but about them as human beings. It creates values-based culture that draws others in and pushes the organization forward, not by force, but through trust, purpose, and shared growth. To wrap this up, transformational servant leadership blends vision with humility, motivation, and empathy. It's a people-first strategy rooted in ethical influence and sustainable success. It's how we build teams that aren't just productive, but resilient, loyal, and purpose-driven. My challenge to you is this: be the kind of leader who serves and inspires. Lead with purpose and help others grow along the way. Thank you for listening. It's been a pleasure to learn alongside you all, and I hope I've been able to contribute to your leadership journey as well.